Brooklyn and Nicola fly from Los Angeles to London, and David and Victoria know they've landed in London. So they were ever so surprised not to see them at the big family party in the Cotswolds, which was on April the 30th, so 2 days before David's birthday. Given the fact that they were in the UK, staying in London didn't go to this party. It was obviously very upsetting for David and Victoria. On that occasion, they thought, okay, they haven't come to this one, maybe they'll come to the next. On David's actual birthday, May the 2nd, it was a private jet from Paris for dinner at La Louis, which is one of David's favourite restaurants. They didn't go to that either. And so David was heartbroken. He told them he would. And so at that point, Victoria became furious. David became upset.
David's 50th spanned a Cotswolds bash, a Michelin-star dinner, a France flyby, and one conspicuous empty chair. In a single post, David summed it up: "You were missed." That says everything. David's 50th wasn't a single dinner. It was a rolling festival. A black tie night at Core by Clare Smyth, a family evening at the Cotswolds home, a whirlwind Bordeaux-to-Paris spree, and a boys-only fishing escape in Scotland. This breadth matters because hundreds of photos and toasts gave multiple chances to be there. One absence echoed through them all. Scale changes meaning. If you're judging the no-show, map the entire week first. Who was present at each stop and why that matters to family dynamics. Context is everything. No angry rant, no cryptic lyric, just 3 words from David to his eldest. "You were missed," tagged publicly after the Scotland trip and party posts. That's a quiet but unmistakable line. Invitation acknowledged, absence recorded, door still open. Minimal words, maximal message. For anyone juggling family rifts, consider the power of short, gracious language that names the wound without deepening it. Keep it simple, keep it human, keep the record straight. Clarity de-escalates. If Brooklyn and Nicola flew to England, reportedly skipping the Met Gala to do it, why didn't they appear at the headline celebrations? One account says they sought a private meeting and were rebuffed. Another says they stayed 6 days trying to see him, yet still missed multiple gatherings. Travel shows intent, attendance shows choice. Proximity isn't presence. When timelines get messy, separate verifiable movements, flights, events from motives, sources. Your takeaway: anchor judgments to receipts first, and treat the why as a hypothesis until it's on record. Facts, then feelings. The marquee moment, Core by Clare Smyth in Notting Hill, delivered celebrity cameos, sibling selfies, and a conspicuous empty chair. In family optics, one missing face rewrites the entire caption. Pictures become narrative. If you're ever skipping a milestone, remember that silence invites story writing by others. Practical move: communicate early and directly with the host. Then, if needed, share a neutral, on-record line afterward to prevent rumor from filling the gap. Control your message, or the moment will control it for you. Victoria whisked David to Bordeaux for a Petrus pilgrimage, then on to Paris for dinner at La Louis and a night at La Reserve. Compressed luxury, designed for memories. That itinerary underlines why the absence stung. Each stop was a remember when chapter. Milestones mint meaning. If family tension looms over a big week, decide your red lines in advance and convey them calmly, so you don't end up sending a message you didn't intend simply by not turning up. Moments become receipts. Picture the post-celebration cool-down. Fishing jokes, inside banter, and a father resetting after a whirlwind week. Yet the same empty space in the lineup. One skipped moment can be excused. Repeating it becomes a message that sticks. The practical move in real life: look for patterns, not exceptions, before you react or reconcile. Patterns don't lie. If you're in a family standoff, track consistency over time and decide whether the trend is acceptable or a boundary you must name. Calmly, privately, and once. 2 versions circulate: a private meet request that didn't happen, or a long stay that still avoided the milestone nights. Both can be true, yet point in different directions. Your move? Anchor judgment to verifiable events first, treat motives as provisional, and wait for on-record clarity. Facts first, stories second. In your own conflicts, separate what happened from why it happened, then respond only to the part you know. Dual truths, single choice, discipline. Is the real flashpoint brother to brother? Old roles, new partners, and unspoken rules colliding? Sibling dynamics often decide guest lists more than any headline feud. Actionable takeaway: when partners enter family politics, set explicit boundaries early. What's off limits, what's negotiable, and how disagreements will be handled. Define the rules before the party. If you don't, every invitation becomes a referendum on loyalty, and silence becomes strategy instead of peace. In 2025, Instagram functions like a press office. A like, a caption, or a no-show tells a story the tabloids gladly finish. But social signals are smoke, not fire. They hint, they don't confirm. Your practical filter: rank sources by proximity to the event, then by on-record language, and only then by platform noise. Audit before you assume. In your world, never let a screenshot outrun a conversation. Ask, verify, then decide what it means. If this receipts-driven breakdown is your thing, tap subscribe, hit the bell, and tell me in one sentence, what single clue most changed your mind so far? Being invited is about access. Choosing not to attend is about values. And that's where family math gets messy. An RSVP can protect a marriage, support a sibling, or preserve your sanity. Yet each yes writes a no somewhere else. The actionable path: decide your principle before the invite arrives, then deliver your decline with reasons, warmth, and a concrete plan to reconnect. Say no, keep dignity. That way, absence communicates boundaries, not contempt.
Tabloids love adjectives. Families live with nouns. Heartbroken is an interpretation. You were missed is a quote. Words matter. When you strip away spin, you're left with a precise public record and 1,000 private possibilities. That distinction changes stakes. Opinions built on paraphrase wobble. Conclusions built on quotes stand. Your move in any family PR storm: screenshot the exact words, label anything else as commentary, and decide only on what's verifiable. Separate quote from color, then act. Clarity protects everyone. Travel signals intent. Timing signals priority. Attendance signals choice. Timing is a message. Showing up a day early and leaving before the milestone communicates something, often louder than a speech. If you genuinely can't make the headline moment, replace absence with structure. Call before the event, deliver a specific plan to celebrate after, and send a personal note that states the reason without blaming anyone. Offer a make-good with a date attached. In practice, can't attend becomes will honor when you attach time, place, and purpose. Replace regret with a plan. When your surname is also an enterprise, family choices ricochet through sponsors, collaborators, and editorial calendars. Silence creates a vacuum. Vacuum attracts narrative. Brands crave certainty. That's why even a graceful "you were missed" can be both compassionate and strategic, acknowledging absence without escalating conflict, preserving future deals and story arcs. In your world, apply a simple playbook. Speed: address the obvious quickly. Specificity: one clear sentence, no speculation. Sincerity: human tone, no jargon. Then stop. Over-explaining widens the frame and feeds the beast. Say less, mean more. Precision scales. When he finally spoke, the message was measured. Appreciate the support. Emphasize privacy. Pivot to the present. Control the frame. It's a classic three-step. Acknowledge feelings without litigating facts. Express gratitude to diffuse heat. Then redirect to what you will focus on next. That tone softens headlines while protecting boundaries. Use the same triangle in your life. Acknowledge: I know this matters. Appreciate: thanks for inviting me. Pivot: here's how I'll celebrate with you next week. It's not evasive, it's disciplined. Short, warm, forward-leaning. Boundaries kept. Is absence a pledge to a spouse or a plea for family peace? Sometimes it's both, and that's the paradox.
Choose your principal before the invitation arrives, not after the argument starts. Here's a workable rule. Define the order of obligations: partner, parents, self. Write a 3-line policy you can live with and share it calmly before big dates. Then enforce it consistently. No exceptions built in anger. Every yes writes a no somewhere else. Pre-committing reduces regret. Decide the hierarchy, communicate it once, and let actions match the map. Priorities prevent chaos.
Let's separate signal from noise. Solid, the celebrations happened, the eldest didn't attend, and the on-record phrase was, "You were missed." Verified events, verified words. Speculative, the precise private reasons, any rejected meetups, and whether sibling dynamics were the trigger or simply background smoke. Don't let guesses masquerade as facts. Your move? Run a 3-column audit. Facts, interpretations, feelings, and act only from column 1. Then log what would falsify your current view. Change your mind quickly when new proof appears. Facts before feelings, always. Here's the real price tag of a no-show. You miss a memory and create a narrative. 2 losses, 1 act. Trust is cumulative. So is absence. And in families with public attention, private choices collect public interest. If you truly can't attend, replace the void with structure. Call before the event, name the reason without accusation, propose a specific make-good with time and place, and send a same-day note. Miss a milestone? Lose a moment. Trust erodes quickly. Repair begins with a plan and a date. Put it on the calendar. So what does this actually telegraph? Not a dramatic break, but controlled distance, selective UK appearances, low-friction statements, and reliance on actions over explainers. Reconciliation windows will cluster around future milestones. Watch for small, coordinated gestures rather than sweeping speeches. In your world, design a re-entry protocol. 3 light touches over 90 days, a check-in call, a neutral coffee, and a shared low-stakes activity, no grievance audits, and a forward-only rule. Patterns predict futures. Watch. If the pattern shifts, joint plans, align dates, lean in with 1 concrete invitation. Momentum matters. Across 5 celebrations and countless posts, the loudest sound was a missing step. Absence as message. Receipts over rumors. We mapped what's solid, flagged what's speculative, and showed how timing, not talk, tells the truth. Receipts outlast rumors. If this changed your read, share your 1-line verdict below. Next up, we'll unpack the full travel to invite timeline, who knew what and when, and the quiet signals that predict the next move. Patterns speak louder. If you're new here, follow for more receipts-first breakdowns that cut through the noise.